Hey there, fancy folks. Kind of lost my track there. Hey, so we have a little first impression situation about to happen. And I used to be very in tune with what was coming out mass market wise in the tarot world, and lately I'm not. And I haven't. I don't know at what point I sort of stopped paying attention to that stuff. Or just, the things that have been getting my attention are things that people send to me usually. But someone said, oh, hey, there's this new this new deck coming out from Lo Scarabeo. And just literally on a whim, I said, well, I haven't done a lot of videos lately. Let's order it. So I pre-ordered it. I have no idea. I know nothing about this deck other than that this is the box it comes in and this is the painting on the box. If I were to predict how I'm going to feel about it, I'm going to wager that it's probably a really pretty deck with a lot of thin white people in it. But we're going to find out. So let's do it. Let's see if we're shocked or surprised. So let's read the back. Let's discover. The Heaven and Earth Tarot is about the deep and unique connection between the human and the divine, between what is spiritual and what is material, between eternity and the present moment. In a way, tarot works because the everyday exists within the higher realm of the divine, while the divine exists within every action and emotion of the everyday. Jack Sephiroth's artwork and vision are rooted in the images of the waite-smith system and blend with absolute mastery with the deeper occult the waite-smith system and blend with absolute mastery. That's a weird sentence. Jack Sephiroth's artwork and vision are rooted in the images of the waite-smith system and blend with absolute mastery with the deeper occult wisdom of a Thoth deck. Okay. Jamie Elford wrote the companion book, bringing additional insight to the symbols on each card, a guide that is sure to bring surprises and reflections to beginners and experts alike. It's interesting that folks sort of say that there's deeper occult wisdom in the Thoth deck. It's the same deck for all intents and purposes. It's just different art. And I mean, the reason I say that is because they were both just sort of pulling the Golden Dawn, system into a tarot deck. Crowley's deck, which is really Lady Frida Harris's deck, is much more in line with how the Golden Dawn did things in Mather's book T. But I mean, the waite-smith deck is all Golden Dawn all day long. So we have this Llewellyn-style box, which is not surprising since Llewellyn carries these decks in the United States. There's the U.S. distributor for Lo Scarabeo. So we've got a guidebook. And the first thing I'm seeing, which you can't really see all that well, is that the esoteric titles or keywords are listed for each of the suits. And then looks like each card gets about a page. Yeah. And then there's some full color images for the majors, but I don't want to see the majors yet, or the cards at all, because I want to walk through. I want to have my first impressified. So let's clonk open this little decky poo without cutting myself. Oh, come on, me. Alright, so what do we have right out of the box? A fairly glossy cardstock. Yeah, it's pretty glossy. And then there's this sort of six-pointed star repeated design on the back. And the title card. And we shall zoomify. Unzoomify a little bit. And so here's the Fool. And it's got the symbols on the card. It's very small, but you have the Hebrew letter, the astrological association, the elemental association, and I don't know what that is. Let's see. There's some numbers and arrows on it. So it gives you the astrological correspondences for air, Aquarius, and Uranus. How to use the descriptions of the cards. Section 1 is a description of the card image. Section 2 gives you many different ways to read the card in a broad sense. Section 3 decodes the symbols seen in the card's title area. Referred to as earthly interpretations, these guidelines also provide practical keywords for meanings. So let's see. The majors seem to get about 2 pages. Keyword, Hebrew letter. Oh, you know what those arrows mean? Upright and reversed, I think. So yeah, it doesn't say what the numbers mean. Alright, well, here's the Fool. It's really nice painting, isn't it? It must be digital because there are sort of layers that I think are hard to achieve. Here's the magician. A very buff magician. High priestess. Empress. Emperor. The Hierophant. So, you know, what I'm getting so far is very much a sort of photorealistic digital painting. Doesn't appear to be collage, it looks like digital painting of the Rider-Waite-Smith. And I don't see, I don't see any sort of revolutionary contributions to it. This is quite a change from, this Lover's card is quite a change from Waite-Smith. But so far my prediction that it's all thin white people is as expected. It's a beautiful hermit card, certainly. You know, I don't like Wheels of Fortune, and I don't like this one. And it actually looks less like a painting than the others do. Justice. The Hanged Man. Yeah, it's very Waite-Smith. I mean, this seems like a deck for people who are like, I hate the flat cartoon quality of the Waite-Smith, and I really want something more painterly and pretty. This is definitely that. And again, I'm right. It's all thin white people. It's a beautiful tower card. The star has breasts but no nipples, which makes me feel like it's sort of a Bowdlerized image. Like somehow it was painted with nipples, but they decided to Barbie doll it. Little things like that irritate me, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's like there's no nipples on the breasts. Like, why? The whole point of breasts is that they have nipples. That is what they are for, is to feed babies. And the woman on the Lovers doesn't appear to have nipples either, although her arm... And the man doesn't. The man in the Lovers doesn't have nipples. So this is a tarot deck with nudity but no nipples. So if you're offended by nipples, this is the deck for you. Moon, Sun, Judgment, and the World. So those are the trumps. The nipple-free trumps. No nipples on the world. God forbid we see breasts with nipples. We might actually understand that the human body has functions. It just looks weird. You know? Like, it just really looks weird. What a strange thing to do. Like, if you're afraid of nudity, cover them. Like, don't de-nipple them. Makes no sense. Alright, here's the Ace of Cups. Oh, this has keywords on it. Ew! Ew, David! I don't like that. So, love. The Three of Cups, abundance. Blended pleasure. So these are the Thoth keywords, or the Golden Dawn, which, you know, as far as I can tell, come as far back as Mather's Book T. Loss in pleasure is the 5. Pleasure. Illusory success. So you're getting the Golden Dawn titles on the Rider-Waite-Smith inspired images. The paintings are beautiful, particularly when they're not nude, because you're not hyper-aware of the fact that there are nippleless human beings wandering through this landscape. I don't know why that's going to be a thing I dwell on, but it is. This has the Nine of Wands, I'm sorry, the Nine of Cups, sort of thothy, like, arrangement. And then the 10, perfected success. Princess of Cups. Knight, sorry. Queen. And the King. So this keeps the Waite-Smith rather than the Thoth card, core cards. Lots of abs. No nipples, if you were curious. The King of Cups has no nipples. Not that men need nipples, but we have them. Ace of Pentacles. Harmonious change. This is the Two of Pentacles. Material work is the 3. Earthly power is the 4. This font is hard to read, which is actually good because I don't like keywords on Madame cards. Material trouble. Material success. Success unfulfilled. Prudence. Material gain. Wealth. And here we have the Princess of Pentacles. The Prince. Queen. And King. Here we are in Wands. Ace of Wands. They don't have the esoteric titles of the aces, which are, the root of the element of fire, the root of the element of air, for example, which is what the Golden Dawn would have called the aces. This is 2, Lord of Dominion. Established strength. Perfected work. Perfected work. It's pretty. Strife. It's a very different 5 of Wands than we're used to. Victory. Valor. Swiftness. Great strength. Oppression. And here's the Princess of Wands. The Knight of Wands. The Queen of Wands. The King of Wands. So yeah, I mean, as projected by our news outlet, lots of thin white people. All really buff. And anatomically incorrect. 2 of Swords, peace. 3 of Swords, sorrow. 4 of Swords, rest from strife. 5 of Swords, defeat. 6, earned success. 7, unstable effort. 8, shortened force. It's interesting to see the esoteric titles with the images because it does remind you that that's what Pamela Coleman Smith was doing. She was creating a mnemonic. She was taking the esoteric titles and making a picture out of them. Despair and Cruelty is the 9. Ruin is the 10. And then we have the Princess of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. And another nipple-free king. No nipples. Boop! So there we go, everyone. The shockingly nipple-free, all new, all nipple-free, Heaven and Earth Tarot by Jack Sephiroth and Jamie Elford. Lovely paintings of human beings who don't have titties. Or who have them, they just don't have nipples. Because nipples are offensive, you know? I think that it's probably smart to take nipples off of pictures. Because, you know, what if we actually looked at our bodies, you know, in a healthy way? So, best to remind ourselves that our bodies are disgusting. And that nipples are weird. I mean, when you think about it, nipples are weird. Like, who wants to look at nipples anyway? So maybe they've done us a favor. You know what I mean? Like, ears are weird too. So maybe, like, we could just cover all the ears in art on tarot decks anyway, because they're weird looking. And when you look at an ear, it's like, what is that? It's gross. So I think that's my next thing. Like, that now that we have a deck with no nipples, I want a deck with no ears. Because it really is uncomfortable to look at an ear. So, yeah, there we go. The Heaven and Earth Tarot. Where there are no nipples on Earth. Because you, David. So, be good.